So what's happening? For those of us that live in the Bay Area, uh, I live in Santa Clara County. They've just imposed more restrictions. The case numbers are going up rapidly of COVID. We've got all these new restrictions coming in for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I think until January. Um, so people Mainly, they're trying to stop people gathering together, especially indoors. But I think also outdoor dining is going to be restricted. Uh, so everyone, we should do our best, get through this, get the numbers down, and then hopefully next year we'll improve. The vaccine's coming along. It's been approved in the UK, so hopefully it'll be approved here soon, and we can get things back to normal sometime next year. Obviously, it's going to take a while for the vaccine to be rolled out to most of us, but anyway, it's encouraging. What I was thinking, there's a lot of focus in yoga on a muscle called the psoas muscle. It's spelled Psoas, and it's a muscle that connects the lower spine to the femur, the top of the femur. And it's the muscle that lets you lift the leg up and to help you walk. A lot of times this muscle will get tight, puts a lot of tension in the body. If you see people walking, with a very short gait, it's probably because they've got a tight psoas muscle. They can't sort of do long strides. Lunges are really helpful to stretch out the psoas. So we'll be doing some lunges, and I always say if you're going to stretch out one set of muscles, if you're stretching out the front muscles at the front of the leg, you need to stretch out the muscles at the back of the leg. So we'll be working on hamstrings as well. I think it's going to be a little bit of an easier class today. We're going to start on our backs, and we'll do a little breathing. What I'd like you to do is diaphragmatic breathing, where we're just breathing in the belly, no chest movements, and then we'll just do chest movements, chest breathing. I want you to feel the difference, and then we'll combine the two. So come onto your back. I would have the feet on the ground, knees bent. And just place the hands, maybe one hand on the belly, one hand somewhere on the chest. And as you inhale, just feel the belly rise. And as you exhale, the belly just sinks. Try not to breathe into the chest. Diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale belly. Exhale belly. Inhale, exhale. 2-3 more rounds. And note that you can breathe quite deeply even without expanding the chest. And you can breathe quite slowly as well. Now instead of using the belly, we're just going to try and breathe using the chest. So as you inhale, feel the chest expand, but not the belly, and the chest lower. And then just regular breathing. Now with people that just do chest breathing, what happens is the breath is shallow. You can't breathe as deep. It's almost like you're starting to pant. So just doing chest breathing is not recommended. Now, if you combine the two, you can take longer, deeper breaths. So we're going to do what we call 3-part breathing. We do this from time to time. So one hand on the belly, one on the chest. Now this time as you inhale through the nose, you're going to feel the belly rise, and then the lower chest expand, and then the upper chest. Exhale from the upper chest, the lower chest, the belly. Inhale, belly, lower chest, upper chest. Exhale from the upper chest, the lower chest, the belly. Just do 3 or 4 more rounds at your pace. Long, slow, deep breaths. We're trying to make it a smooth movement from belly to chest and from chest to belly. So we're using every mechanism we have to do that breathing. We're pulling as much oxygen as we can in. This is good for you guys. So what we're going to do next, we're going to do what we call these mini cat-cows. I've been doing this from time to time more often. And as we inhale, we're just going to push the lower back into the ground. And as we exhale, we're bringing the lower back up. Not the tailbone, just the lower back. Inhale, pushing into the ground, belly engaged. Exhale, you're bringing the lower back up. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, you're engaging that core. Exhale, you're releasing the core. You can feel the lower vertebrae pushing into the ground as you inhale. Now we're going to come up and down with the breath. So as you inhale, you're pushing the lower back into the ground, and then you're bringing the hips up. Exhale, we're coming down, and the lower back comes up. Inhale, lower back push down, hips up. Exhale, we're coming down and getting a hollow underneath the lower back. So just do a few more times at your pace. Really think about pushing into the ground with the lower back before you come up. So the next time you're in bridge, hold bridge. Don't hold the breath. Keep breathing. Keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands. Interlace the fingers. Try and walk the arms and shoulders in a little bit closer, so we're getting a bit of space underneath the neck. Push the arms and hands into the mat, the head into the mat. Legs are parallel. Feet, imagine the feet are glued to the mat. You're trying to pull the feet in towards you. Remember, do not gaze from side to side. It's not so good for the neck in bridge. You're breathing. So we're trying to get a straight line, knees through the hips to the shoulders. If the back is good, you can bring the hips up a little bit higher, but make sure the back is happy. You're breathing. This is going to strengthen the legs. It's going to strengthen the glutes. It's going to open the chest. Really good to do, especially if you do a lot of computer work. If you're a cyclist, this is good. A lot of times cyclists they bend over, backs are rounded, so this helps to undo that posture. As we come down, we come halfway down, release the arms, we bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back. Bring the left leg up to the ceiling. And we're just going to work on the foot a little bit by pointing the toes towards the ceiling and then towards the face. Just point and flex a few times. Just giving that foot a little bit of attention. I do this a lot. I get tight, back of the ankle gets tight, so this helps to alleviate that. And then we're just going to rotate the foot in one direction. It's just like you're making circles, in the air with the toes. We circle in the other direction. And then we point and flex a few more times. And then we're going to switch legs, holding onto the back of the other leg. This also gives you a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Point and flex the foot. Official terms is if you're pointing the foot, that's actually what they call plantar flexion. As you pulling the toes in, that's dorsiflexion. But most people, they think pointing is straightening the foot, flexing is pulling the toes in, which to me sort of makes more sense. Okay, rotate the foot one direction. Other direction. And then point and flex a couple more times. Okay, let's a little bit of a hip stretch. We're getting into that figure 4, recline pigeon. Outer of the left ankle onto the right leg, and we're going to take hold of that back of that right leg. So we're doing threading that left arm between the legs, pulling those legs in, trying to keep the tailbone low as you pull the legs in, dorsiflexion of that foot that's close to you, getting a bit of a stretch on the outside of that left hip. Now what I'd like you to do is just rock from side to side, just gentle rocks. And we're just massaging the lower back a little bit. And you're going to feel that stretch on the outside of that left hip. This is a good stretch to do. We do this a lot. Okay, switch. Out from the right ankle onto the left leg, thread the right arm through the legs, pull the legs in, flex that foot, tuck the chin, lengthen the neck, maybe rock from side to side a few times. And then let's work on the core a little bit. So give yourself plenty of room. Bring the hands behind the head. So we're going to support the head. Now if this bothers the lower back, bend the knees if you need to. But we're going to do what we call a scoop. We're going to lift the legs up. And just like we did earlier, just before we came into bridge, we're pushing the lower back into the ground. Legs are not up too high. Just a few inches off the ground, head is a few inches off the ground. Lower back pushed in, core is working a lot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we slowly lower, go slow. Take a full body stretch, reaching over the head with the arms, trying to get as much length as you can. And then a little bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape, stretching out the side body. Breathe, breathe, feel those ribs, side ribs expanding. And then stretch out the other side. And then recenter, walk the feet in, take the feet wider than hips. We're just going to work on the outside of the hips a little bit. Just arms either side of you on the ground, and we're just going to take the knees from side to side, just like windshield wipers. Try and move with the breath. Inhale as the knees come up. Exhale as they go down. Back to center. Pull the knees in. We're going to get ourselves into a seated position. You can roll over to one side, come up, or you can just rock yourself up into a seated position. Sit up nice and tall. Rest the hands on the legs. Let's work the neck out. Right ear to the right shoulder. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. Inhale, head back up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over the left. So we're going to go from side to side with the breath. Inhale as we come to neutral. Exhale over to the side. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. See if you can go a little bit further each time. This could save your life. I know. What's he talking about? Well, if you're driving, you need to turn the head to see what's beside you, right? So if you've got neck mobility, it's really going to help to be able to easily see from side to side. Back to center. You know, it's sometimes when you're driving, this has happened to me. You're driving along, you're going to switch lanes, everything looks clear in the mirror. You look to the side, there's a car right next to you. It's, oh wow, I didn't see him. So, you know, it's good to have that mobility. Okay, next, we're going to do some neck rotations. So bring the chin to the chest, and we're just going to rotate the head, going in one direction. Nice slow rotations. And just note any creaks, any cracks in the head. I have a few. And then we end up with the chin at the chest and we rotate in the other direction. If I'm doing this by myself, what I'll do, I find those extra tight spots in my neck and I'll just hold it a little bit. Difficult in a class setting. You know, if you're practicing this at home by yourself, you can focus more on those little tight spots. Okay, shoulders. Work on one shoulder at a time. I like to. Right shoulder forward, up, back and down. Other shoulder. Forward, up, back and down. Both shoulders together. Whatever feels good. Loosen up. We get a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders. Really loosen up. Interlace the fingers. Extend the arms forward, shoulders back. Interlace the fingers the other way. Most of the times we do it one way, we're doing it the other way. Feels weird. But it's good to alternate. Good to do something that doesn't feel quite normal. We bring the arms up. Eventually, arms are framing the face. Keep the shoulders happy. Breathe. Interlace the hands behind you. Pull the shoulders down. Pull the shoulder blades together. Start hinging forward at the hips and slowly bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Tucking the chin. Inhale coming up. Gentle twist. Right hand on the left leg. Take that twist, looking over that left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist in the other direction. Inhale back to center. Come onto your hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Regular cat-cow. Same movement as when we're on our backs, but we can go a little further this time. We're not restricted by the floor. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Take your time, don't rush. Trying to get that wave-like motion, that wave starting from the base of the spine, working its way through into the neck. Ujjayi breathing. We're restricting the flow of breath through the throat. Long, slow breaths. You're trying to synchronize the movement with the breath. Back into neutral. Core stabilization. Make sure there's plenty of room behind you. Bring the right leg up, not too high. Hips even to the ground. Shoulders. Shoulders, the area between the shoulders, that's what you want lifted up towards the ceiling. And then if you want more challenge, opposite arm comes up. Thumb up towards the ceiling. It's like you're hitchhiking a ride. So thumb up, little finger towards the ground. Trying to keep as still as you can. Keep the leg up, hand comes down. Little pulses, bringing that top leg up and down. It's going to work the glutes, it's going to strengthen the lower back muscles. Inhale, and on the exhale, pull that knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Switch legs. Other leg comes up. Hips even to the ground. Equidistant to the ground for the hips. Middle of the shoulder blades pulled up. Opposite hand comes up if you want. Thumb, you're hitchhiking. Don't see many hitchhikers nowadays. Hand down, little pulses. Inhale, exhale, knee comes into the chin. Inhale, extend, looking up. Exhale, knee in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Child's pose. 3 or 4 breaths. Toes together, knees apart, head supported. Sphinx. We're on our forearms. Forearms are parallel. We make fists with the hands. We tuck the toes. We come into a forearm plank. Hips not too high, hips not too low. Bring the toes nice and close to each other. And optionally, bring one leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those legs down. Come all the way down. Relax. Hands on the under the shoulders. Regular plank. If it bothers the wrists, forearm plank again. Feet close to each other, one leg up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forearm side plank or regular side plank. Stacking the arms. You can have the top foot in front of you, or you can have the bottom knee down. If you want more challenge, top leg comes up. If you want even more challenge, you can hold onto that big toe and you can bring the leg up to the ceiling. Don't forget to breathe. Back into plank. Side plank other side. Left hand to center. Stack the feet. Take whichever option is good for you. The more you reach towards the ceiling, the more you push into the ground, the lighter it's going to be. Maybe bring the top leg up. Back into plank. Knees down. Chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Chin is tucked. You're looking between the legs. Try and get the feet nice and parallel. Armpits towards the ground. Each finger, especially the thumb index finger, pushed into the ground. You're breathing. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, bend the knees. Inhale, we're slowly rolling up. Bring the arms up. Exhale, mountain pose. Half salute. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale as we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward again, head relaxed. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward again. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, mountain. One more. Inhale, reach up, get length. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Keep the arms up, interlace the fingers. Index finger towards the ceiling. Little bit of a side stretch. We're leaning over. We're trying to keep both shoulders in line. So it's like we're between two panes of glass. You're looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming up, reach, get length before you go over to the other side. Side to side with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up, exhale to the side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up. Bring the arms either side of you. Shake the arms out. Just move those shoulders again. Come to the front of the mat. Chair pose. We bend the knees, feet are parallel, big toes can be touching if you want, or we can have the feet apart. Arms come up. If it bothers the shoulders, arms can be forward, you can come into prayer, you can have the hands on the knees. I like the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, plank. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, now this time we're going to keep that foot off the ground. We're going to see if we can touch the chin with the right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, now see if you can touch the right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, see if you can touch the left elbow. Inhale, extend. We switch legs. Inhale as the other leg comes up. Exhale, see if you can touch the chin. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, bend the knees. Inhale, we're coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We come into warrior one. Hold warrior one. Warrior two. So warrior two, I'm going to try and go a little deeper. I'm walking that right foot further out. Going a little deeper. Relaxing the shoulders. Keeping that knee nicely lined up with the center of the foot. Reverse warrior. And then extended side angle pose. Forearm to that front knee. Straight line, top hand to that back foot. And if you want to go lower, you can start sliding that arm towards the ground. We come back into warrior two. Reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one, other side. Stay in warrior one. Little bit of a back bend. Warrior two. Maybe go a little deeper into the pose. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Reverse warrior. And then extended side angle pose. Straight line, top hand through that top shoulder, through the hips to that back foot. And then if you want, you can slide that lower arm towards the ground. Still trying to keep that straight line. If you have a block, if you can't get all the way to the ground, you have a block, we could have used the block. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, plank, chaturanga, inhale up dog, exhale downward facing dog. Bring the knees down, and we're just going to sit on the heels for a minute. So just sit on the heels for a bit. I'm just going to get a block. So if you have blocks, it would be good. I've got two different size blocks. They should be the same size, but never mind. So as I said at the beginning of the class, we're going to stretch out the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle connects the lower back to the femur, so it lets you do this kind of action and gives you walking. And if you get a tight psoas, you get a lot of tension. The good way to stretch out the psoas is with lunges. So let's get ourselves into a lunge. Come onto your hands and knees. Come into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, we sweep that right foot between the hands, back knee comes down to the ground. So what I'm doing next is I'm letting myself sink lower, but then I'm not moving that right foot, but I'm trying to pull that right foot in a little bit closer. That takes the pressure off that lower back. Now for me, I can feel the stretch. in the front of that back leg, all the way through the top of the hip to that leg. For me, that's stretching out that psoas. If I bring the arms up, you can try this, I feel more stretch. Because what we're doing is we're getting those lines stretching out from all the way up through the arm, through that chest, through to that back leg. Bring the hand down. Try this. Tuck the toes of the back foot. And then we're going to bring that back knee up. Try not to bring the hips up too high. Just see if you can bring the back knee off the ground. See how that feels. It intensifies the stretch. Don't let it be too intense, but I feel more stretch here. Lower the knee. If you bring that hip up at the same time, you don't feel the stretch. But if you just try and bring the knee up, but not that right hip, you get into that deeper stretch. And we lower the knee. Another thing you could do, not today, you could hold on to that back foot, pull that foot in towards you. Let's add a twist. We're bringing that left arm onto that right leg. I'm trying to go a little deeper, and then I straighten up. I bring the palms together, coming into that twist. And then, again, if we want, we can bring that back knee off the ground. Not only are we strengthening muscles here, we're increasing our strength. Hamstring of the right leg. We walk that right foot forward an inch or two, and we extend that leg. Just find an easy stretch, don't let it hurt. Dorsiflexion of this right foot. You can walk the hands in, and the blocks are here. If you happen to have blocks and you can't get your fingertips to the ground, you can bring your hands onto the blocks. You want to try and keep the kneecap and the toes pointing towards the ceiling. As I said, if you're stretching out a set of muscles, like here we're stretching out the front muscles of the leg, so you always want to stretch out the back muscles of the leg as well. Keep yourself nice and balanced. The more you fold forward, the more you're going to feel that stretch. So just find a stretch that's good for you, nothing too intense. And then we're going to switch to the other side. We come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back knee down. Hands on the top of that left leg. Stretching out the front of that back leg. Back knees on the ground. Left foot glued to the mat, but you're pulling that foot in towards you. And then if you want, you can bring the arms up. Good stretch, this one. Okay, keep the toes of that back foot flexed. So your toes are on the ground, and we're just going to bring that back knee up. See how that feels. And we very slowly lower, and then we'll bring it up one more time, if you want. If it feels too much, don't do it. And we slowly lower the knee, very slowly. Take the twist, bringing that right arm. We're trying to get it outside that left leg. So I have to round my back, and then I'm using my thumb between my leg and my belly, just to open that area up, palms together. And if you want, back knee can come up. We lower the knee slowly, hands to the ground. You're walking that left foot forward a little bit. And on the exhale, we take the hamstring stretch. Blocks if you want. Make it a little bit easier. Toes, kneecap up towards the ceiling. If this is an intense stretch for you, if you find this a challenge, a nice hamstring stretch, which you should know, is you would be on your back and you pulling that leg in towards you, maybe with a strap. The nice thing about doing it when you're on your back is totally supported, your back is totally protected. Now, for the opposite, if this is easy, if you don't feel much stretch, you can start hinging forward. But you want to try and keep the belly as close to the leg as you can as you hinge forward. But that lets you go deeper into that stretch. Come back into the lunge. Put the blocks to one side if you have any. Come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, we bring that knee forward. We come into pigeon. If you want to do recline pigeon instead, that's fine. This knee outside the hip or centered, wherever is most comfortable for you. Tucking the toes of the back foot, you're walking that foot back. I think we did pigeon last week. Pigeon is a good pose. It's another stretch for the psoas. You want to keep the hips nice and even. Try not to lean over to one side or the other side. And if this right hip is off the ground, you can use a block. And this is when skinny blocks are useful. I don't usually use skinny blocks very often, but sometimes they're useful if you need a little bit of height in pigeon. Extended pigeon. We start folding forward and we support the head. I could stay in pigeon alone. I could do pigeon for the rest of the class actually, because you know, you're not having to do much work. You can relax into it. But it's always good to come out of pigeon. Tuck the toes of the back foot. Downward facing dog. Walk the dog. Bring the left leg up to the ceiling. Extended down dog. And then bring that knee forward, coming into pigeon. Respect the knee, take your time. Maybe walk that back foot back a little bit, getting into a deeper stretch. And as I say, if this bothers the knee, or if you prefer recline pigeon, you can do that. Raised pigeon, you get more of a psoas stretch. So walk the hands in a little bit closer. See if you can stretch out that psoas a bit more. And then hinge forward. And just rest the head on the hands, on a block, on the floor. But make sure the head is supported. And then we slowly come back up. We tuck the toes of the back foot. We're going to go back into downward facing dog. Walk the dog a few times. And then just come onto the mat, just sit on the heels a bit. So since I've got two blocks, I want to show you something. if you don't have any yoga blocks, I would suggest you get a couple, and probably get the bigger size, and try and get the firmer ones. Also, if you don't have a strap, you probably want to get a yoga strap. Most of you probably have one. 8-foot straps, preferably. 6-foot straps are a little bit too short, so the longer straps are better. So a nice thing, and I would normally do this at the beginning of a class, but usually I do it, when we're all together in the same location, when blocks are available. I'm just going to show you this briefly. I'll take a block, I'm going to lie on the blocks. So one block will be between my shoulder blades like this, lengthways, and the other block is half height and just used to support my head. So it's like this kind of thing. If you don't have a block, you can just watch for a minute. So I take that one block underneath my back. It's pretty high up the back. It's almost like you're trying to hug it with the shoulder blades. It's a little bit like it's like a supported bridge almost. And the other block is half height. And then you can just bring the arms either side of you. And you can just totally relax like this. A little bit like Shavasana, but on the blocks. So if you have blocks, try that from time to time. It helps to open that upper chest, and you can relax while you're doing that. So you're totally relaxed. Another thing, if you have one of those foam rollers, you could use that so it's high up the back, and sort of at the bra line, and with your head supported with your hands or on something. So that's another way to open that chest. Okay, what's next? Everyone come into a seated position. Let's just work on the hips a little bit. We'll come into Baddha Konasana. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. Again, for some, a block would be useful to sit on the block if you have tight hips. If your back is rounded, your knees are high, a block is really useful. I rock from side to side, letting my heels get in closer. I'm taking hold of the outside of the feet so I can use the strength of my arms to get my back neutral. And then I let those legs come towards the ground. I fidget a little bit, pulling those hips forward, back neutral, and then you're going to try and encourage those legs towards the ground. This is going to open up the inside of the hips. I like to do this against a wall. If you've got the back supported, if you're sitting at a wall, you can then bring the hands onto the legs, and you could sort of just apply a little bit of, get a little bit of extra leverage there. Just be gentle if you do that. But if you're against the wall, the back is protected. You're keeping the back in a nice alignment. Okay, next, let's try this one. So we're going to stack the legs so my right shin is parallel to the mat in front of me, and I'll bring the other leg on top. And we're just going to try and close that gap. Just take it easy, and you're going to feel that stretch up probably on the inside of the leg. If you're super flexible, maybe you don't feel this, maybe you want to go into lotus. If you go into lotus, be careful, don't torque the knee. And we're going to switch legs. If you can close that gap, as I said, you've probably got open hips. Your body's probably ready to go into lotus pose. I don't tend to teach lotus very much. I'm always wary that it's, if people don't do it right, they, instead of getting the hip open and using the hip mobility to get into lotus, it's the knee that takes it. And, knees are not designed to move laterally. But this is a good stretch. I like this one. Okay, come onto your back. Let's do happy baby. Another hip opener. So with happy baby, we pull the knees in, so the tailbone is down, and we take hold of the feet. Happy baby, we do this quite a lot. Head is supported, and I'm using a lot of arm strength to pull the legs down towards the ground. Then what we can do is take hold of the big toes, or we can just hold on to the feet, and we try and straighten the legs, getting into a V shape with the legs. Keep the shoulders pulled down away from the head. I'm pushing my heels out, I'm trying to get the tailbone down, and I'm trying to straighten the legs a little bit more. I tend to feel this in the hips a little bit, but also down the inside of the legs. We take hold of the back of the legs, we lift the head up, and we rock into boat. And this is more core work. You can keep hold of the legs, you want to keep the back neutral, or you can bring the arms either side of you. And the more you lift the legs, the more you straighten the legs, the more you're going to have to work on this one. You're breathing. The knees, try and turn the knees up towards the ceiling. So I'm pushing my big toes together and just rotating the legs inward slightly. And then we're going to do that scoopy action again. Legs extended, legs off the ground, head is supported, lower back is pushed into the ground a lot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower. We take a full body stretch. We take a little bit of a side stretch. Stretch out the other side. And we recenter and come into Shavasana. Bring the arms either side of you, palms up, eyes closed. I'm just going to switch so that the sun is not in my face. Just make sure you've got length in the neck, support the head if you need to. Quite sometimes what I'll do is I'll lift my head up, tuck my chin, and then bring the head back down. Palms up towards the ceiling, the arms are out about 20-30 degrees. Let the feet relax, let the body get heavy, and just enjoy sinking into the ground, regular breathing. Start to take deeper breaths. Walk the feet in, all over to one side, usually the right side, eyes closed. And then gently push yourself into a seated position. Inhale, bring the arms to your side, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 ohms, inhaling. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. And let's hope after the next 2 or 3 weeks the numbers are coming down, and then next year the vaccination, and we get more back to normal. So, light at the end of the tunnel.